Morning, beautiful. It's great to see you. It's lovely to be out here on this very definitely autumn morning. So let me show you the flowers because, we've got to do that. The last of the white nerines. We get up close. This is a fresh flower. Let's have some focus. There you go. It's just beautiful. It's just lovely to have this living abundance, and I treasure it. And the main thing that's happening now is the autumn crocus. Maria, good morning. Janine, good morning. April, good morning. It's lovely to see you. And so here we have the autumn crocus, and if you look close, can you see the kind of checkered pattern on the petals? It's beautiful. Morning, Heather. Just out here enjoying the autumn crocus. The colchium is the fancy name. It's just really beautiful thing that happens at this time of the year. And they sprout up, and you can see they're mostly still coming, but there's all these little spikes coming up out of the ground. I'll just move that. And this is what happens. They just all sprout. Interesting, these violets thrived this year, but they haven't flowered yet, so, well, spring, I guess. So that's really the thing that's happening here. And we still have Japanese anemones in abundance, and they're beautiful too. And these beautiful leaves on the Luculia, which I really enjoy, just the detail, the pattern of them. It's just lovely to be here. And it rained, which was great because the willow gentian was starting to drought. And you can kind of see that because the flowers look like they've been a bit desiccated. But beautiful, beautiful blue. They've had a bit of a drink overnight, and there's more rain coming tonight. So that will help the flowers. And it's good for us to have rain. And there's a late rose on the sweetheart rose. There you go. Oh, and there's a fuchsia flower. This is a fuchsia that I struck from a cutting. It's beautiful. There we go. It's a particularly elegant one, and when it gets a bit bigger next year, you'll see what I mean. So that's autumn. There are just random flowers here and there as things are going to sleep, and we head into, dying and letting go and the ending of things. And and this is the thalictrum, right? The white thalictrum. Heidi, good morning, beautiful. Let's just look at see the mottled green and yellow on the foliage. I love this. I love every stage of this plant. I love it when it's lush and growing, and I love it when it's dying down, because every stage has something beautiful about it. And I think that's very appropriate because morning, Kay. I'm glad that you enjoy this. It kind of helps us stay sane, connecting with nature. There's a lot going on in our world at the moment, and there's a lot that really feels like it's dying, right? Our way of life, what we are accustomed to, things that we're used to having and doing and taking for granted. I went to the vegetable market on Sunday. Brian, g'day, lovely to see you. And first of all, it was quite early, but it was just about, all the food was almost gone. We managed to get what we needed, which was lovely. And then I discovered that there's no more vegetable markets for a while, which is kind of like, and I understand why. But, I really felt that. It's a small thing compared to what some people are dealing with. But I really felt that. Our world is changing. And you look at all the things that we seem to be losing, right? Hi, Timothy! And it's like autumn. Everything dies, everything goes away. There's this fullness of flowering in summer, and there's all these beautiful things. And then they die, and the ground, there's nothing coming up, and you think, oh my God. Imagine if you were used to summer, if your entire life you lived in summer, and you'd never known autumn, let alone winter. And you didn't know that there was spring. Okay, imagine that there are these, sort of much longer cycles of consciousness and everything. And if what we are now in is a kind of autumn of global consciousness and a lot of stuff is dying off, and we're even heading into a winter, Marianne, it's lovely to see you, darling, then what we've got to do is keep an eye out for spring and know that it's coming, even though we have no idea what it looks like, because we're used to summer. All we know is summer. All we know is how to be who we've been. And if we keep on saying, oh, I miss the vegetable market, I miss the way my life was, we're going to get stuck in the fact that it's not like that anymore. Kristen, it's great to see you, honey. Morning, everybody. It's great to be here. So, it's been a very interesting time for me because, just like you, I face my fears. And I have to choose very powerfully whether I accept, believe and surrender in them or not. And so the world as we know it has changed. And maybe in however long it's going to take, 4, 5, 6, 7 weeks, who knows? We don't know, see? We're all in the unknown. Maybe it'll go back to being the way it was, but somehow I don't think so. And you know why? Because in this autumn, this winter, these challenges, these losses, the grieving, the letting go, the unknown, the oh my goodness, what's going to happen? Will I still be here in 3 months' time? Some people are asking that question. We have to choose. And you're right, Kay. We have to choose whether we focus on what was and what we feel that we've lost and how scary it is that we can't predict tomorrow, let alone, the end of the year. Or, as you say, we can put our attention onto who we want to be and how we want our lives to be and what we want to have in our future. And we can live that before we can see any evidence of the fact that it's quote-unquote possible. We can be the future that we desire right now. And that requires finding greatness in yourself. Because to do that, you've got to be bigger than your environment and your circumstances and your fears and your feelings and all of the stuff that's going through your head and saying, this is scary. And I want to hide in a corner and feel sad because the life that I had is gone. But what if it's only autumn and winter and there is a spring coming, and the quality and the shape of that spring gets to be determined by who we choose to be now? What if we spend this season preparing for the new dawn? I've mixed my metaphors, but you get the idea. What if we say, okay, so we're stuck away, we're locked away, it's like, the ice has come and we're in the cave, it's a bitter cold of an ice age winter, there's nothing we can do except sit still. Susan, good morning. And, I saw a beautiful thing on Facebook. If you can't go outside, go within. You realise we're all being locked up into a corner so that we have to face ourselves and decide who we're going to be. This is our opportunity to decide who we are and to discover our greatness that we've hidden from ourselves because we've been so hypnotised by our normal lives, which have been taken away from us, and we have co-created this at a global level. And if you want to understand a bit more about how I see that, there's a post on my page from Neil Donald Walsh. It's about 17 minutes, and he explains the thing beautifully, and I know this to be true for myself, so that's where I'm speaking from. Yes, deaths, disasters, changes, everything. We co-create it ourselves. And that's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to discuss that topic today. That is the ground on which I stand. This is the truth I live. So, if we are doing this because we want to evolve, we want to grow, we want to change, we want to improve as a species, as a collective consciousness, then this is our opportunity. We have created this lovingly, with the best intention, with the knowledge that we are eternal, we are infinite, we are forever. and we just choose different expressions of ourselves. And right now, what am I choosing to embody? What am I holding true? Where am I putting my attention? Because you, as the divine observer, what you look at and what you feel a powerful emotion about, you collapse that into reality. You make it real. So you look at the news and you focus on it and you think, oh my God, how awful. Oh my God, there's that many new cases in that country and there's this happening in my country and I can't do this now. And you're feeling all the fear and you're feeling all the, oh, I've lost this. You are making that more real. I'm not saying it isn't easy to do that. Because you know what? Many people are doing that. So let's join the party of doing that. It's easy. It doesn't feel nice, but oh my God, it's easy. Or, and this is where I absolutely stand. Oh, thank you, Kristen. They are hard truths, aren't they? That we create this. And we do. And we've done it lovingly because we know we are eternal. We know we last forever. And we just come in and we leave and we come in and we leave. And we don't just do it on planet Earth either. We do it everywhere, every time, and all at once. Just to blow the top off your head if you haven't heard me say that before, or someone else. Awe. What's your awe? Who are you choosing to be? And what are you choosing to focus on? And I tell you, there are just things coming at me. I think the collective unconsciousness right now. Morning, Victor. It's lovely to see you. And the collective consciousness as well. Is really full of fear. Really, the people who aren't aware that we get to choose, the people who aren't aware that the thoughts you think change the chemistry in your body and immediately, if you're in fear, make you more susceptible to, whatever, change your epigenetic expression. The people who don't understand that, who are just looking at the media and believing that that's how it is and there's nothing else, and I'm not dissing the media because it forms a useful function, some better than others. Another big story I'm not going into. Bernadette, it's lovely to see you. Oh, thank you, Kay. That's such a compliment. Appreciate that. This is the choice we have. So, flies into my head right now. What are you focusing on, Maddie? For God's sake, tell them what to focus on. Now, I'm not saying you must do this. So for me, by the way, I've got to tell you. I've got to check the clock and I've got to tell you. 13 minutes, good, okay. So I woke up this morning and I was having this really hilarious dream, which is funny because, quote unquote, I don't normally dream, but I did today. I woke up this morning and it was such a funny dream. And then I woke up and I felt flat and low and heavy and scared, frankly. Just, my life is over, really. And at this point in time, I know I'm working a lot with the collective consciousness of humanity because many of my past, future, other, parallel, all the time, gazillions of experiences, lives, whatever you want to call them, have been in collectives. I work with collectives and honestly, I was born for this time. I came here to do this. So I woke up and oh, thank God I get to go into the field today and choose who I am and create myself anew and get rid of the shitty state that, default mode networks firing up and saying your world has come to an end. No, it hasn't. I'm sorry. So I go in there and I create and I choose. And oh my God, it's such a relief to become coherent again. Please, if you haven't got something that works for you, go and get connected to and become a dedicated student of the work of Dr. Joe Dispenza because it works and it's science and it's a formula and anybody can do it. It might be hard. You might have to practice it. It's taken me a year to get this good at it, but I tell you, it's worth the practice and you get results long before you become a master of the work. And I say, I am a master of the work in that I can now regulate my internal states. I don't always do it easily, but I don't get stuck in the kind of state of being and the fear and the that used to go on for days. Gregory, hello! I can now change my state. Not necessarily at will instantly, but I can at least be aware and not just give in to stuff that comes at me and say, oh, well, I feel all this stuff and it's just overwhelming and I can't stop it and I'm exhausted by it. Gregory, it's great to see you. So, there is greatness in each of us. We have the ability to choose. And let me remind you that I know what it feels like when it feels impossible to choose. Because you're so used to not being able to choose. And, I remember something. A dear friend tagged me in a post, and it said, it was along the lines of, if you find yourself thinking a negative thought, replace it with 3 positive thoughts and change the script. And I thought, yeah, that's great. But the problem with that, if I'd seen that 2 or 3 years ago, I'd be, because for me to change the thought was kind of like throwing a bucket of water against a stone cliff. Psh. You're not just got to change your thought, you've got to change how you feel. And I didn't know how to do that. I did not know how to do that. I did not know how to do that. I could allow, oh yeah, Kristen, I was really good at allowing. I could react, that's normal. Let me go into survival, let me go into fear. Release, I did not know how to do that. I did not know how to do that. Because I didn't understand the cycle that if I think of a thought with sufficient amplitude, there's going to be chemistry that pulls into my body to make me feel the same way as I'm thinking, and then that chemistry encourages my brain to think more thoughts the same, and then I get more chemistry, and then I get more thoughts, and round it goes. And that is how a single thought can completely ruin your whole day. Because if you're like me, you don't know how to change that. And so I'm so passionate about Joe's work, because now I know how. I can totally change it. Yeah, I guess it's my job to be transparent, Victor. I've always had this feeling of, oh, what the hell, if people don't like knowing that I'm human and that I make mistakes and screw up and can't do things sometimes or often or whatever, too bad. I'm not interested. If you want somebody who's perfect, sod off. Go away. I'm not going to be that person. I am far more powerful being exactly who I am. And this is my greatness. To stand up and say, you do not have to be subject to your circumstances. You do not have to give in to the fear. And now we have the science to tell us how to do it. Yeah, we are more, oh my God, are we more alike than we know? Are we now completely connected around the whole planet? Everybody's got the same problem. Everybody's got the same challenges. Everybody is in this together. Hell yeah. There is no us and them anymore. We've all got this. Nobody can say, oh, well, I'm safe. We're all connected. And that, I was told in my meditation this morning that this conversation would be really powerful and I'd be guided. There's the next thought. Your thought, my thought. Vanita, hello honey. Your state of being, not just your thought. What you are thinking and what you are feeling. What you are feeling and what you are thinking. You're not just an isolated little person changing that. You do it for the whole of humanity. You do it for Gaia. You do it for the universe. Do you realise that what we're doing here is not just little planet Earth and humanity and tra-la-la. The whole universe is watching us. And not just watching us, actively celebrating, loving us, like the Super Bowl stadium. They're all there doing Mexican waves and cheering us and saying, humanity, you can do this. You can stop being like a bunch of kids in the playground bullying each other. Shiz, it's great to see you. And you can grow up and start looking after each other and loving each other. That is what we are all here to do today. Now, not tomorrow, not in some fancy schmancy idealized world where everything is perfect and, oh my God, now! What are we waiting for? This is the time, if there ever was a time, now is always the time, but this is the time where, if you like, the matrix is breaking down. The systems, the accustomed ways of thinking and being falling to pieces. And you know why that is fantastic? Because it creates chaos. And out of chaos, you can create a different kind of order. And the choices that you make about how you think and how you feel and the state of being that you inhabit right now directly impact the kind of order that we are creating together now. That's what we're here for. This is the party that we all got born for, and that we studied for, and that we practiced for. This is it. This is what we're doing. This is what we're about. So that's what I guess I have to say, you know. I know this is what I'm here to say and what I'm here to do, and it's what you are here to do. Go live it, go be it the best you can, and know that when you fall over and when you screw up and when you can't do it and when you get scared and whatever, it doesn't matter. Everybody reacts, everybody gets scared. It's how long you stay there that matters. It's whether you fall over and say, oh well, I'm on the ground for the rest of the day, or whether you get up and choose a different thought. That's greatness. And all of us have that within us, and now is our time to shine. Big love. Thank you for sharing with me. Thank you for being who you are. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.